Hey, this is Dr. Bobby Braile. I was the 11th president of the ICA, and if you're watching this video, it's probably because somebody sent it to you about the ICA elections. You know, this is an interesting election because there's not two clear sides, one wanting to do this and one wanting to do other. All of the people running in this election are friends of mine. I know them all personally. They're all good people. So there are no losers here no matter who gets elected. But I did feel it was important to give a critical evaluation of the candidates in the southern region and in the main three exec offices in order to give you a better evaluation of them. You know, I could live with any of these and I will support whoever gets elected. But there are certain things that I think you should look at and listen to and make your own decisions. Now, by the way, I've noticed that the mailouts that have come out from both sides talk about a slate of offices and a slate of offices. There are no slates in the ICA elections. You can vote for whoever you want. In other words, you can vote for one president here, one vice president here, you don't have to put them in the order and the slates in which they're presented to you. ICA elections are democratic, open, and fair. You can vote for any candidate for any office as long as they're in your region. All right. So let's start off with the southern region. The southern region has two candidates, and that's a job I formerly held after having been chairman of the board of the ICA. And we have Claire Welsh, right, and Sharon Gorman running. Now, Claire has been an ICA representative assembly person from the state of Georgia. Sharon has been involved by being on the Life Board of Trustees. So I'm looking at the two of these and thinking, okay, for a Southern Regional Director, who is better? They have different styles, they have different outreaches. Claire has spent more time at many functions relative to ICA leadership. And by that I mean she's been at ICA board meetings, she has been at a lot of different events, she's been at CCE, she's been at the World Federation. She is well traveled and versed on the political and understanding of the global picture of chiropractic. Sharon, who hasn't had the same experience, has had a lot more experience with chiropractors and various people in her seminars and her meetings and on the Life Trustees. So it's a close race there. I kind of think that maybe Claire would be better at the position because of her overall appeal and the fact that she's already at a lot of different meetings. But we'll talk more about that in a minute because I want to go to the next race. And the next race to me is very, very critical. Secretary-Treasurer of the ICA. We've got Steve Welsh running and Selena Sigavouche-Jackson. Now, I know both of them, and they're both principled chiropractors. There's no problem with any of that. There is a difference, though, between the two. In my opinion, and I love Selena, but in my opinion, the ICA cannot afford to lose Stephen Welsh. Steve is absolutely a dynamo and a powerhouse for the ICA. He is the one who found out and alerted the profession about New Mexico, led the charge in fighting drugs in New Mexico. He found out about Colorado. He is on other states. He is the one who went to Washington, I was there, and spoke to the CCE and nailed the CCE in front of the Nisticki Committee. Steve is a resource we cannot afford to lose. I mean, it is just critical to me that Steve keep the office. This is no slam on Selena. She's a wonderful individual, strong in chiropractic, but the ICA cannot afford, chiropractic cannot afford to lose a leader like Steve Welsh. If he was running for president, I'd probably vote for him there. But as Secretary-Treasurer, he is a strong individual who understands the politics, who has an outreach far beyond just what he does. We cannot afford to lose Stephen Welsh. Steve is the guy we have to have in that office. It's important to ICA, it's important to chiropractic. We go to the vice presidential candidates. You got Laura Tannis and you got Ron Oberstein. Both good people. I've known Ron for a lot of years. Laura I don't know as well. And they have different points, and you have to evaluate the two. Laura has been a leader in the pediatric movement, and the ICA's pediatrics. There's a whole bunch of people who understand that. And many of those, because in ICA, we don't force people to be a member of anything. If you're a member of the Pediatrics Council, you don't have to join the ICA. I would love to see Laura bring some of those people in. Ron has a lot of different entrepreneurial businesses going on. Ron has run seminars. He's been an ICA representative for California years ago. So both of them bring different things to the equation. Who do you work with? That's a hard one to say. I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to vote on that one. I love both of those candidates. I think Laura might bring some more understanding of the ICA inner workings than does Ron, because Ron has not been in the inner parts of the ICA over the years. So there might be some advantages there, and the pediatric thing might bring you some advantages there. We're down to the presidency. The presidency is Dr. Corey Rodnick from Michigan and Dr. Michael McLean, who is now, I understand, from Hawaii. formerly from Virginia for many years. Both solid, principled chiropractors. I have no problem with either one of them being president. They both have their strengths. Mike McLean's strength is obviously politics. This man understands politics. He understands how to talk to politicians. He's been in Washington a lot. So he is very, very strong. I have no problem with it standing there and talking about chiropractic. Corey Roddick has made a living out of being underestimated. I mean, he comes across a little bit like the Nutty Professor, but he is a brilliant, brilliant man and has proved so in the politics of Michigan and have been the the Central Regional Director for the last, I think, 6 years. So both of them are very, very good candidates. Both of them would be fine presidents. They have different leadership styles, different personalities, but both of them are fine. I have no problem with either one of them being elected, and I will support whichever one of those two gets elected. Now, between the two, that's a toughie because it's so close. They just are different but close as far as their value to ICA. I have one little issue with Mike having selected somebody else to run against Stephen Welch because I think Stephen Welch is so important that we should never, ever challenge that issue. He should have run unopposed because he's just so valuable to the ICA, and I think recognizing that's an important issue. Corey has not had the experience of the executive committee, whereas Ron has been, Mike has been on the chairman of the board in the past. So it's a tough one on that one. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but look at the two candidates. I think they're all fine. Every candidate in this race is good. There's no bad ones here. There's nobody doing terrible things. They're all fine. Okay? I think the absolute necessity here is Steve Welch. He must be Secretary Treasurer of ICA. The importance of what he brings to the ICA, not just in that job, but in a total global sense of protecting principled chiropractic and stopping the spread of drugs in our profession. He is inexpendable. Now, that doesn't mean you have to vote for the ticket, but that's what he supports. So I just wanted to give you a little eye-opener. I'm not telling you how I'm voting. All right? You can decide that for yourself. Just keep in mind you do not have to vote for tickets. You can vote individuals however you best decide. All right, this is Bobby Braile. Have a great day and get out and vote in the ICA elections. Thank you.